Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Damage Does D&D. We're back once again with our Tuesday campaign, Helloran Rising, episode 65. 65 episodes, y'all. That's a lot. At least more than 3. Yeah, 4 more till it's nice. Okay, so, without further ado, I will hand you over to our newest character to do a recap. Firenze, take it away.
Praise the great crystal one. The visions he sent were right. I mean, not wholly right, but he got me in the area I needed to intercept these dwarves and, provide the aid I needed to provide. Oh, they had some strange companions with them, and they were quite skittish to begin with. So I sat on the ground and waited for them, because I am quite large, and waited for them to approach, like we did with the wild jungle cats and the beasties back home. I do wish the Great One had warned me about that gnarly sapphire, though. Bad-tempered barrel swill tried to kill the folk I was supposed to be helping, and most definitely not righteous at all. People are friends, not food. And also, dragons are friends, not enemies. People need to remember that. The ones who came with the short ones seem to have an onyx with them. I don't think they understand how rare and honoured they are to count one as an ally. I'm hoping I can teach this lot about the beauty and majesty of dragonkind and the intimate connection with the land and the elements. That elf, Celeste, seems like she knows a thing or two about healing magic, but maybe we can discuss the finer points about it and perhaps work in tandem to keep everybody alive. I'm hoping we can. I accidentally select slip. I was told to go out to the wastes and that they would need help. There were a couple of, I think, humans, I think they were called, who seemed to like red. The bored one, Florian, seems level-headed and reasonable sort, if a little fragile. The overly decorated one I'm not sure of yet. I got a faint whiff of brimstone about her, but that one might bear watching. One of the short ones, Predator I think they called him, was a bad-tempered sturdy bugger who could use some of that pipeweed we grew on the south slopes of the Sacred Plateau to chill him out. He was very nosy and expected me to share all of the Great One's secrets, just like that. Not on your Nelly, my friend. Well, not yet, anyway. They were very suspicious of the Great One, but they'll learn eventually, although they did want to know if I knew who Sama was. Not sure who he is, but he's not the Great One, so hey-o. The short ones were very shocked by the onyx and wanted to kill it, but one of the short ones, I think he was called Gus, said that the onyx was called Bridris and he was her mum. I wonder how that happened. But if this Reorx fella is trying to help them and the dragons be friends, I'm all for that. That's so righteous. These lots sure do like to talk, though. After all, after it's established that the onyx is a friend, we set off for Drummond and safety for these poor unfortunates. I do like that Gus fellow. He's got a good head on his shoulders, that one, and seems like the intelligent sort, liking the dragons and all. Seems to genuinely care for that dragon, and again, that's so righteous, and I love it. I kept forgetting that not everyone has long legs like I do, and they kept falling behind. But we forged on, and as we neared the edge of the plateau, the plumes of fire kept shooting up, and the surly one who needs a bit of chilling out stumbled and shouted in pain, but I'm not really sure why. I really didn't want to camp in the waste because I don't particularly want to be barbecued by a fire plume in my sleep. And sure enough, Gus had the same idea. Another brilliantly intelligent idea, that one. He's a good one, he is. One of the elders was flagging and I offered to help, but they seemed to take it as an insult, grumbling something about food and a cheek because I'm taller than him, but he's bigger than me. Not sure that makes sense, but the cat-like one was having a really bad time, and I guess it's all that fur's not treating her well in this heat, but forge on we did and reached the edge of the forest, and hopefully some sort of safety for these folks.
Hey, thank you very much, friends.
One question to ask. Did you say Florian was bald?
Yes.
He's not.
He's not.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
I'm sorry, I didn't pick that up in the 4 seconds I had to read it.
I mean, you see this face, you automatically assume that all of my characters are going to be bald.
You're just that good at roleplay. You know?
It's yeah. I mean, it's a look, you know.
You know,
Method.
if only really you could do something about it, like cosplaying by wearing a wig or something.
Yeah, weird.
Hmm.
Anyway, as Ferenz noted, you are approaching the edge of the great forest of Drummond. So, to that effect, I would like a marching order, please. Who is at the front with Ferenz? So let's.
Gus, I imagine.
So we've got Ferenz, Celeste,
Yeah.
Yorick.
I'll be somewhere in the middle with Idris and all the kiddies on her back.
Okay,
Again, I'll be at the back,
so
keeping an eye out there.
I'll be next to Yorick.
okay.
And apparently I'm on my own in the middle.
I think you're in the middle with Gus.
And all the kiddies.
I know the kiddies. That's fine.
Gus.
I can entertain the kids when I cool down.
Melissa. And then we've got Trella. No, Trella Doors up front. Who am I missing here? Florian, of course. How could I forget Florian? Okay. So,
How far away from the edge of the forest are we?
I would say you're about 100 feet or so.
Okay. Well, if that, I would stop the group then. Let's just stop for a moment. I think we need to make a few things clear.
What do you mean?
This is Drummond. I won't say it's my home. I will say that this is where I'm from. But there's some things that I should make you clear of before we go any further. I want you all to pay attention to me, because what I'm about to say is very important. Well, everything I say is rather. If we get as far as the city, and actually whilst we're in the forest, you're not to mention my name, my family's name, any of that. Will just cause problems.
What do you want us to call you then?
Well, I don't know. We can come to that.
Sprockets. We'll call you Sprockets.
Yet,
What is your family name?
well, we don't have a problem then, do we? You don't know it, you can't say it.
You never shared it.
I know I didn't.
Shame.
And yeah,
Then how can we know which is a name to avoid?
Well, the first name mainly.
Well, we'll just call him Sprocket then. That's fine.
Is that really a dwarfish name?
Yes.
Just a question here, though, Trellador.
Of course, there's questions.
Don't say his name.
His name's Sprocket.
Your sister, though, if she's here, she knows us.
She does. I was getting to that. You know, this is what happens when you interrupt people. If
But it's fun.
you see my family, you'll just say that
Interrupt you.
I went off bravely to help a village, you know, save a village or, you know, slay a big monster or something.
He got drunk and put in jail.
Or maybe not.
So you went off to save a monster and slay a village.
Something like that.
Mr. Sprocket, sir.
I don't think Sprocket is going to stick. We'll talk about that.
Well, that aside, but your family's going to keep looking for you if they think you're alive. Wouldn't it be better if these brave fellows told them that you were dead?
I think that will give them the satisfaction.
I mean, if it was a suitably heroic doom,
I just think the more complicated a lie, the more likely you're going to trip up on it. We'll just say,
If you don't practice, and believe me, I've had a lot of practice.
I mean, death is pretty final, and I mean, there's not really a lot to discuss further than that, is there? That's all I'm saying.
It's fine. It's fine. You're a hero. You went off to save a village or something.
Maybe you went traveling with Snow to help him establish his temple and fight off the oppression he will no doubt face.
Yes, I could go and protect him.
And then you are always traveling on the season. That's why your family never see you.
I could tell you've lied before me yet.
Mm.
Okay, so we're clear. Everyone's clear on the plan. I look at Florian. Do you want to repeat the plan back to me, Gus?
I've got a question. Are you alive or dead then? Because I'm confused. Some people said you're going to be dead. Some people said you can be alive.
We'll go with dead, Gus, to make it easier for you.
You're dead. Okay.
I am dead. Trelador is dead.
Right.
Any more
So what do we
questions?
call you now?
Did you drown?
While this is happening, I'm just going to walk to the edge of the forest.
Okay, it's about 100 feet away, so yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Do I see Ferenz?
Well, you're concentrating on this barrage of questions, so you can make a perception check with disadvantage.
Well, if I'm fielding questions, I probably won't. But I'll move on to my second point as Ferenz moves in the forest. Okay. The second point is about entering the forest and something you should know before we enter. There's this kind of test, an assessment of character and person by the sprites. So it's a funny feeling, but just be aware of it. They guard their forests very well. I'm sure we won't have any problems.
It's something like the test that we had in Redport.
No,
where you're brought to the judge to see if you're telling the truth.
No, I don't really know the
Because I
ins and
passed
outs of
that
what
one.
happens, but they sort of determine who's allowed in and out of the forest.
Does this ring
So
any
what
bells
happened
to
if we're
what
not
I know
allowed in?
about Faye?
If you're not allowed in,
Make a
then
history check.
then the duty rangers will come and see what the threat is. And they are not to be messed around with.
Ferenz,
This
you
is
already
starting to
know
sound
all
like-
this.
20.
20. You've heard about the Forest of Drummond, that the Forest of Drummond has protection of sorts, and they don't really like people going in and out, but you've not heard anything much more than that.
Yeah, I'd be going up to the edge of the forest, and I want to use my speech of beast and leaf to talk to the vegetation and see if they can carry word to my
I don't know
companions.
where they are.
Okay. So as you approach the forest and you sort of step in just past the first tree line,
You're here.
the sprites surround you, as has happened before when you've gone into the forest, and the sprites it's a sort of tickly, strange sensation, and you start to sort of get a golden glow about you. And Celeste, for certain, you see this as Ferenz enters into the forest, and you can see these little dancing motes of light that surround him and give him a sort of almost golden glow.
He just stands there with his arms out, giggling.
And it's quite tickly, and it feels quite interesting and warm and welcoming. And you said you were going to try and reach out to the...
Yeah, so as a feature being a furbolg, I can communicate in a limited manner with beasts, plants, and vegetation. They can understand your words, but cannot. But you cannot understand them in return.
Right.
But we would have had a pre-arranged signal with the with my companions,
Right.
to
Okay.
warn them that I was coming.
Okay. So you concentrate and speak with the vegetation about, and this part of the forest is almost like a jungle. There are hanging vines and creepers and large, beautifully coloured plants with strange shaped flowers with funnels in them and all sorts of strange and bizarre things. And you tell them that prearranged signal, and they sort of shift in as if they're looking at you, and then shift back. So you're pretty sure that's gone through.
Any more questions?
Have you decided what you would like us to call you?
Not Sprocket.
Sprocket it is.
Okay. So is
Okay.
he now not Sprocket? Mr. Not
And
Sprocket.
I'm open to all suggestions, just not for Gus.
Gus, I'm Gus.
You also said that you had something to tell us specifically regarding your sister, but you didn't mention which sister.
I didn't.
We have met two of them.
I didn't say anything about my sister.
Yes, you did.
When?
When you started your speech, you were announcing what to do if we encountered your sister.
Somebody
went
asked-
No, I just said
family
if
name,
you
when
see
you
any
tell
of
me
my
family
family
name.
or you see anyone who knows me, just deny all knowledge.
But what if they know us? What if we meet?
Yes, we have
Well-
met two of your sisters. We don't know how large your family is.
I think,
How many cousins might we meet who ask after you?
I think our new young dwarven friend wanted us to tell his family, if they were to ask, that you died heroically fighting off a sapphire dragon, perhaps?
If you like.
I think,
have-
Sprocket, what is going to happen is that if each of your family asks us, they're going to get a different story, which will be perfect.
But he definitely didn't drown.
No,
I don't
he didn't.
really
Snow would
care
not
how
let
I
him drown.
died. You have met my only two plus, and I have, well, my parents are around. They're quite prominent in the city, but I doubt we will meet them.
Well, the thing is, we won't know who your parents are because we don't know what your family name is. So anybody could come up to us and we wouldn't know who they were, would we?
But
Yes,
it doesn't
that's
matter then,
the
because
excellent
this,
point. What if the wrong person asks after you and we end up giving away too much information?
as far as you know, Trellador does not exist.
But we do know you exist. They don't know you're dead.
Ugh.
This
I
is going
think right
exactly
now-
as I thought it would.
I think right now what we should be doing is what you always prefer, and just get moving.
Exactly what I was going to say. Let's talk
Definitely
on
need a name,
move.
though. If not Sprocket's not Gus is not going to work, then we definitely need a name because I need to call him something.
Well,
Let me tell you, Sprocket.
what's a good dwarf name? I've been a dwarf for days, you know. I'm not a dwarf. I may look like a dwarf, but, you know, I'm an elf with a big beard and a bit short at the moment. I'm still getting used to this.
What about Brandon? That's a good dwarf name.
I prefer Sprocket.
Why don't you speak to some of the elders and see if they can give him a name?
That's a good idea.
Very loud, given that he's like 120 feet away.
I think it comes to being like 18 feet tall.
Right. We've established, like, someone find me a name and we'll get going.
Sprocket.
And my name is not Sprocket.
Yes, it is. It is in my
If you
heart.
want to call me Sprocket for this little expedition, I will be Sprocket to
Oh
stop
my
talking.
Excellent.
God, Trellador, will you stop talking always?
Florian.
Talking in your new form.
Shush. What did you just say?
Sorry?
That's not my name, is it? You failed straight away.
We're not inside the forest yet, though, are we?
We're about to be. Look, we can see the forest. Are you going to be a liability?
No, I won't. Sorry, Sprocket.
Let's
Aldrum.
just...
Aldrum's a good name.
No, Gus, we have decided on Sprocket. At least
Oh,
for
all right.
our time in the forest.
But
We can pick a new.
that
When
was
we go
my
into
idea.
Exactly, yes, it was your idea. And when we go into the Flame Wife, we can pick a new name for him.
So then is it Sprocket or not Sprocket?
Look, I
No.
have changed my name on the Discord now. I am Sprocket.
Fair enough.
I haven't moved position either.
What is this card you speak of, Trello?
It's-
Sprocket.
It's too complicated for you. Let's get moving. Come on.
So,
Let's talk, we'll walk, let's go.
as you decide under Sprocket's new moniker, you walk forward. Celeste and Yorick, you approach the forest. I mean, this forest wall is dense, almost jungle-like. It's sort of like strange ferns, and as I said, large flowers, and the trees are twisted in strange and odd shapes with vines and creepers. Celeste, as you walk in, you get surrounded by sprites. You can see these sort of sprites, little tiny sprites, and they come up to you and they create a golden shimmer around you, and you can hear them just whispering. And
Do I understand what language they're speaking?
It's kind of, it's not quite Elvish. It's more of the Feywild. It's more of a thing that sprites talk amongst themselves. They can speak Elvish when they want to. They don't often want to. They're sprites. They just hang about at the forest edge, making fun and playing tricks on people. But these ones seem to be different. They're sort of whispering. As Yorick walks in as well, he gets surrounded by this golden glow. And Yorick, it feels welcoming and warm, tickly. So they get sort of, you can see, you can't see the individual sprites, you can just see dots of light. And they sort of go into your beard and through your hair, and it's all a bit strange. It's not unpleasant, but it's a bit odd. And Celeste, the whispering that was going on stops. And the sprites sort of coalesce in front of you into a sort of ball. And they form a face. All these tiny little pinpricks of light form a face, which then bows deeply before you.
I will bow as well.
And says, We welcome you, most ancient one, to the forest you must have seen grow from tiny seeds. We will summon the elders. They flicker her out. Go back. Trellador. Sorry, Sprocket.
Don't they know you should never ask a lady your age?
They didn't ask. They stated.
Oh, okay.
As you walk towards the forest that you've known all your life, you step in and you're used to this. You're expecting it. It's like the warmth, the tickly, ha 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 ha. Except it's not. The sprites, instead of this gold aura around you, suddenly turn blood red. And the tickly feeling you used to doesn't happen. It's tiny pinpricks of sharp little pains all over your body, all over your face.
I'll step back.
Yeah, you step back out of the range of the trees.
And I'll just say, everyone stop.
And it stops. And they go back into the forest.
We may have a problem. Actually, this is a good time to do this. I have to. We may have a problem. Come on.
So, as that's happening, some of the other dwarves have started to go through, and they're experiencing this tickliness that Yorick and Firenze had. This warmth and welcoming tickle. You can see some of the kids are like.
I'm assuming I would have seen Trellador step back out if I was like last in the marching order.
I mean, yeah, Miette, Gus, Melissa, and Florian have yet to go through.
So I don't think I see it, and I rush forward a little bit.
Okay.
To like where Sprocket is. Sorry, Dan. And I'll be like, when you were saying about there's a certain way we enter and how we can enter or leave the forest, I thought this might happen. I'll be back. Hang on, and I'm going to walk through and see if I have a different one.
You're going to walk through.
Yeah.
So you walk into the great forest. Some of the other dwarves and the children and the elders are going in, and everybody's getting this little golden glow around them. You walk in, you a little apprehensive as red pinpricks, tiny motes of pain all over your face, all over your body.
Yep. I step out then.
You step back.
You have the same problem.
We can't go in because it's been with both of us.
What?
Mr. Sprocket and Mr. Florian, what's the matter with you two?
It's different.
Yeah.
You're aware of this place, friends. You're aware of the.
I know its defences and I know what they're for, but I'm not sure why they're going on you though.
Will you be allowed back out, friends?
Of course, I've been here a while. I'm happy to come in and out. They know me.
Would you mind coming a bit closer so I can explain to you then?
Of course.
They told me that the elders were coming.
I wonder if we could trick it.
I'd
You're
rather not.
quite big.
No.
I
Trying
do
to
not-
trick Faye is a bad idea.
I would agree with that.
Is
I
anybody
mean, I've
else
never
going
had
in?
to do it.
I mean, that would be a singularly bad idea, I think.
Standing on the edge, because I saw what happened to Sprocket, and I have a suspicion.
Okay.
I'm not going in.
You're not going in. Yet?
Oh, I'm waiting to find out what's going on out here.
Okay.
So if friends walks up to like me and
Yeah,
Sprocket.
Ferenz comes back out of the forest, no problem.
and I'll lower my voice a little bit. I know we've only just met, but I'm pretty good at reading people, and I think you're one of the good ones.
I'd like to think so.
Long story short, I had a curse, a binding curse put on me.
Right.
This is why we started traveling as a group, and now my young short friend here
More than a friend.
thought he was doing me a favor and took that curse from me. So we've both been, in my eyes, and the forest eyes, I think, tainted by evil.
But, I mean, you don't seem like evil people to me, so you
We're
might
not.
touch me, but
The
let me have
curse,
a
the curse was from a prince of hell, just to let you know.
let me see if I can have a word, and then we'll see if we can make some sort of.
There is a way round this. If the sprites, the defense system, thinks that you're an issue, one of the elves or one of the guard will come and investigate. So,
I mean,
and this pains me to say, we may need our best hawkers.
Well, I mean,
Don't worry, I'll do it.
Not you, Gus.
I mean, I don't like to toot my own trumpet, but I'm with you, and they know me. I've been helping out in the city for quite a while now.
And they've
That-
already told me that an elder is coming.
Oh, well, we just wait then.
To that effect, Celeste, you notice that while the sprites are sort of investigating everybody that steps through, including Bridris, who Bridris is like, "Love it tickles," as she goes through. There are several sprites sort of just floating around your head, Celeste, changing different colours, pretty golds, silvers, whites, yellows. And the whispers become clearer every now and again, and they just tell, they're just like, "We've never seen somebody so old. This is fantastic. How are we going to... Oh, we should worship her. We should do this. Oh, she's so pretty. How is she pretty for someone that's so old? That's amazing. How did she get this? Oh, perhaps she's just come in from the fae. Oh, perhaps that's what it is.
Please don't worship me.
You can see they all sort of back. She can hear us. She can hear us. She can hear us. We must bow down before the Ancient One.
No,
These
please.
tiny little lights start sort of swooping in front of your face. You know, like a murmuration with the birds, just like it's like that, but with these tiny dots of light that are just sort of swooping in front of your face.
How should we fuck off, oh Lord?
Could be.
No, please, you don't need to do that.
They continue to swoop.
How do I get them to stop?
Celeste. Remember in the dead woods and I was doing the coin trick? Try the coin trick.
The coin trick?
Entertain them.
Do a song.
I'll
Someone's
pull out
pretty
my
like-
flute and attempt to play.
They stop. And you can see
Can't
that,
guarantee I'm going to be any good.
more and more
Can't
of
get any
them
worse than you.
from sort of deeper in the forest are coming towards. It seems word has spread that you're here. And they're all sort of flitting to see the Ancient One, as they call you. Give me a performance check.
I've got a question to ask DM.
Sure. While you
Can I
roll that
just-
performance check.
I'm proficient in the flute.
Yes.
So does that mean I can add my proficiency bonus to my performance check?
Yes.
Okay, just checking, because I'm not performance.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
Your question.
Just for my theatre of mind's sake, we can see inside the forest, so we can see everybody being tickled and that, or
Yeah.
is it like there's a barrier, like as like
you can see into the forest. I mean, it's difficult, the vines and creepers, but where Ferenz walked through, it's almost sort of like a path that sort of opened up as he approached. And every time somebody approaches, the vines and creepers just sort of move and shift ever so slightly, so that a path that wasn't there has always been there.
so it's more like of a mesh barrier, like so.
Yeah, but you can see through it. It's just like
Yeah,
any
okay,
normal
cool.
sort of jungle creepers. You can see through them.
Yeah, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
In my head, for some reason, I just had like Ferenz sticking his head out and his sort of like
Oh, just his neck
talking
appeared.
to us. Yeah.
No, he just walked out and
Okay, cool.
it's all good.
So
So what's this performance check then?
It could be worse, 15.
15. So you start to play and there's again this sort of and lights just appear and start flickering with the music. So imagine, if you will, a stage, a performer, a light show. They are flickering all around you, different coloured lights in time with your tune. Disco sprites, quite. Yes,
Have
absolutely.
I started a rave?
Yes.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So while this is going on, I'm going to approach the edge of the forest again, and I'm going to try and have a word with them, like I said I would.
With the plants.
Now with the sprites.
Oh, okay.
If they come to me again,
you
because
can-
I'm trying
as
to
you-
get them in.
As you walk back into the forest, that tickly golden warmth.
You see, sprightly ones. My friends, you've got all prickly with them. Now, they're not bad people. They've just been a little bit cursed. So, could you please let them in for me? So we can make our way and we can get all these nice people to where they need to be.
Okay. There is no response. The warmth and tickly feeling passes, and you're in the forest. They've
Yeah.
never spoken to you. In the few times you've been in and out,
Yeah.
we've never heard them speak. But
It was worth
worth a try.
I'm going to turn to Florian and Sprocket. I'm just going to test something. I'll be back out in a moment. I'm
Okay.
going to step over to the edge and try stepping in myself.
Okay, so you step in apprehensively, and the sprites encompass you, and again, red pinpricks of pain. Just
I'll back out.
it's not quite as bad as a wasp sting, but you can imagine there were hundreds of them. So it hurts. Doesn't do you any damage, but it hurts. You don't want to
Like
do
an
that.
ant bite as such.
Yeah.
Millions of yeah.
Yeah. So
I'll
it
back
definitely hurts.
Would I know that, like, as I go in and out, you get the blow for a few seconds?
Yeah.
Would I
When you
know
go,
that this would only last a few seconds, this painful?
well, as you go in your experience, you don't know a huge amount about the security of the forest. You live most of your life in the city, so
Yeah.
it's tricky. You know, the city has magical wards and defences, not sprites. But you've been in and out of the forest a few times, and the magical golden glow, the warmth and welcome tickle lasts a few seconds, and you pass through it. Coming out of the forest, there is no glow or warmth or at all. Nothing happens when you're out of the forest, only on the way in. Cat on stream.
I feel like we're going to have a problem, whatever, Melissa. So we just have to grin and bear it. And if, like Celeste said, the elders are already aware of our presence, they're going to be upon us soon anyway. We're just going to need our best talkers. And it seems like Ferenz has connections as well. I mean,
Maybe we can just wait for the elders as well, especially
I feel like that might be the best way to not
push our
upset
way in.
the-
Yeah.
not upset the sprites.
a bit that, it's never been a problem before. This is my, this is where I'm from, and I can't go in.
I get that, but as you said at the beginning, Sprocket, you're not you. So if anything, this is a bigger cub.
I'd say it's more what's been done to you than to both of you.
Yeah, and yourself, Melissa.
Yeah. Well,
Wait.
Yeah, I think so. And then at least if any trouble does come, the others are protected by the forest, and we can just deal with it as best as we can.
Question for the DM.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any rivers or water sources nearby?
Not here, no.
Not here, no. Okay. In that case, I will go up to the board and start playing by, doing the Macarena through the barrier.
So every time you put a paw through, this sort of golden tickle happens, and it's lovely. It's makes your fur just go poof, just a little bit, because it's really it's just like, it's really warm and welcoming, but still tickly and strange. But you quite like it. It's like ooh, 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 ooh. And the sprites seem to be enjoying this. You get the feeling, because they don't stop. Every time you put a paw in, it tickles. You take it out, you put it back in, and immediately it tickles again.
Excellent. I shall entertain myself and the sprites then until the security shows up.
Okay. So, about 5-10 minutes in, are you continuing to play, Celeste?
Oh yes. Oh,
Yeah, I'm
sorry.
trying to. Well, if they've reacted badly to 3 of my friends, and I'm just going to try and keep them nice and happy and calm.
Okay. As you're playing, and anyone with a passive perception of 21 and above. No, just Celeste. Oh, and Ferenz. Okay, so Ferenz, Celeste, as you're playing, one of the trees and creepers starts to change shape. And Ferenz, you've seen this before. Celeste, you've probably seen something similar. And as you concentrate on it, and the rest of you start to see it, it turns out there was an elf standing there all along, just watching you.
Hello.
And she sort of looks at Ferenz, nods, looks at Celeste, a little
I'll
confused.
bow while playing.
A little confused, but looks at you. Looks at the rest of you, dwarves, Bridris, and dwarven children, dwarven elders. And you know this person to be, because you've met her before. She was one of the ones that found you. This is Ayaltus, Whisperbark. And she looks at you. Ferenz, these... I know you were out helping, as you said you were going to do. I was not expecting you to bring a dragon and an elder. Forgive me, madam. She just stops talking to you completely and just fully focused on Celeste. Forgive me, madam. I don't know your house or your area of expertise, although I do sense some kind of starry connection with the night. Perhaps, forgive me if that is rude, we have not seen someone of your years. The sprites tell me you are many centuries old. Is this... They don't normally lie. They don't have the capacity for that.
I stopped playing. Hello, my name is Celeste Dayreen, and you are right. I am a druid of the stars, so to speak. But I am not ancient as your sprites have determined. I have just come a long way from the past.
She sort of looks at you for a moment. I see. Forgive me, very rude. My name is Ayaltus Whisperbark. I have responsibility for this section of the forest today. Friends?
I can explain most of it, but I'm not really sure I'm au fait with some of it. But I found the people I was supposed to find, and
yes,
I think I also found the people I was supposed to find.
She looks slightly pained just for a second. You can tell that she's
So
dealt with friends before.
I found the refugees.
Yes.
And I was also led to believe that I would find my path. And I'm not sure, but I found these lot with the refugees as well.
I see.
But the little dragon, she's a friend.
Well, she would not have come in if she was not a friend.
That one's her mum.
Gus, you still outside or you come in?
Oh, I'd have got him with Bridris.
Yeah, you got the tickle.
That one's her mum. I don't understand it myself. I've received this information.
That's fine.
But we have elders and we have children here as well, so I would like them to get to the lodgings that that my companions have prepared
I will see
as soon as possible.
That the dwarven refugees are escorted to their temporary but safe abode.
Many thanks, Miss Ayaltis. I really appreciate it.
Ferenz, we understand your calling is to help others and baffle still others. We understand this. So, and she starts, so bear with me just one moment, Miss Dayreen. Do you have a title I should use instead? I'm not sure of the protocol.
Celeste is fine. Please.
Celeste. I will do my best. And she sort of goes silent for a second. And then out of the trees, more elves just appear. Just as if a minute ago they were flowers or parts of the bark of a tree. And now there are about 6 different elves all standing there, smiling. Oh, welcome. And they start to come across. And who?
No.
One of them goes, friends. How fabulous. And they walk across to Thumma. See? Honoured one. It would be fabulous if we could have the honour of showing you to your new quarters. And Thumma sort of looks across at you, Yorick, as if to say, is this right?
Yeah, let's go with it.
So, righto. Will there be beer? And then the elves go, of sorts, yes. We have wine and juices of all kinds. Thum's like, but no beer. Probably not, as you understand beer. But she starts to lead Thumma off, and the rest of the refugees start to follow. Yorick, Gus, do you want to go with them, or you want to leave them here? What would you like to do?
I think we'd probably go with them, make sure they get settled and safe.
Okay.
Yeah.
At least I would, because the little ones are still on Bridges' back.
Yeah. Okay. Is everybody else going, or staying here, or what are you doing?
I will wait.
You're going to wait. Okay.
Mr. Yorick, are there any injured in that party? Because I've got my friends are preparing all sorts of tinctures and potions and bandages if any of them need patching up.
I think we've got it all sorted, thank you.
Okay, but if they do need anything, tell them to ask for Morleneth or Relton, and they should be able to help.
I didn't understand those words, but okay.
They were names, but sure.
They're elven names. So, as the dwarven party walks off, Miette, are you still playing with the sprites?
Oh yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
also staying here because like there's gossip going down here.
Okay.
You know,
Well, what about
had to find out.
the three that are fully outside? What are you up
Have
to?
we been able to see what's going on inside?
Yeah, you can see that there's a conversation taking place, and elves have appeared and are leading the dwarves away.
I think I'd wait until we were beckoned to come in, or there was a conversation happening
Yep.
either side of like the boundary.
So, Yaltis looks across at Miette, just sort of, and then walks over very carefully. I mean, the sprites are having fun. Are you having
I am too.
fun? Ah, that's nice then. Did you want to come in?
I was waiting for my friends. I didn't want to lead them.
Your friends. She sort of turns to look at the three of you. Oh, another dwarven type. Do come in, Mr. Dwarf. We can send you with the rest of your party to the safe zone.
All right then. I want some ale, please.
Right. Okay. As I was saying to your companions, there will be wine and berry juice and all sorts of interesting drinks that you
What?
can drink.
No ale?
But no ale as you know it. So, do come in, and as you're going to
step
walk in,
in.
you step in,
Yeah.
and the sprites turn bright red again, and the pinpricks of pain keep going.
Oh! Did I do that?
Miss Ayatis, this is the issue that I wanted to raise. I think a couple of them have been a little bit cursed. It's not their fault, mind. They are nice enough people. They seem to be anyway. But
Right. If you would
some-
step back, please.
All right then.
And
I
the
can
sprites.
certainly vouch for them. They are my companions and have kept me safe for quite
I
some
see.
time
This
now.
is, interesting. Firenze, not to cast aspersion on your character assessment, but how long have you known these people?
About a day.
Right. I see.
I am I'm very perceptive, and I'm a very good judge of character, though.
I'm absolutely certain of it. Madam Celeste, if Lady Celeste, I'm still uncomfortable with just one word. It's not.
Please, just
I will try.
Celeste is
I will
fine.
try.
Miss Celeste, I would go with Lady Celeste just for now, and then we can iron out the details later,
That
just to make them
would
feel comfortable.
make me feel a little more comfortable, if you don't mind.
Very well.
So, you say these are your companions and they have protected you, but yet they have the stain of devils on them. They don't seem to be. I mean, they are human and a dwarf. It's very difficult for me to override the sprites and let them in, because the sprites, as I said earlier, don't have the capability to lie.
I do not doubt that the sprites are not lying, but what Firenze said to you is also the truth. What has happened to them is not by their own design.
And I stopped.
She looks up at you. Do
Nothing.
please continue. Sorry, what? I didn't catch your name.
Sprocket.
Sprocket. Marvellous. Mr. Sprocket, you wanted to say something in view of this devilment you carry.
It wasn't me.
No, it definitely was you. I saw your lips move and everything. Unless, of course, you're telling me you are currently possessed by a devil.
No.
Right.
I don't think we're possessed. We're being touched. And it's my fault, but I didn't ask for it.
I see. I think I'm going to have to ask you to wait.
That's absolutely fine. Do you mind if I show you something? It might clear something up for you.
She kind of steps literally back into the forest, so that
I'll reciprocate. I'll reciprocate
surround her. She doesn't want to be outside the forest when you show her something. She seems to be a bit sort of okay.
And I'll reciprocate that, so I'll step back as well, and then I'll just unbutton my shirt and just.
Oh yeah.
And this is why there's.
Celeste, you see, Aeltis starts to just put her hand out beside her leg, and you can see from behind she's starting to precast.
I will immediately step in front of her.
You're going to step out of the forest?
If I have to.
She's literally on the barrier of the forest edge, watching Florian. Just.
Do I know what spell she's casting?
You can make an Arcana check real quick.
$22.
22. Looks to be hold person. So nothing particularly offensive, just a hold person spell, just in case. So.
Okay, I will let it go then.
Okay. So, Florian, continue. Sorry.
Yeah. So I'll just unbutton the shirt, and before I pull it open, I'll be like that again, and be like, I'm just showing you just to put some light on the situation. And then I'll just, so she can see the scarring of the chest.
Okay, she looks at your scars. Does that hurt?
Not anymore, because my friend here, Sprocket, somehow took it from me. But obviously, I think I've still been devil touched, hence why we can't come in.
I see.
I took it off him because I'm the strong one.
Right. Hmm.
As far as we know, it's quite obviously dark and ancient magic, and any healing that has been attempted on it has been futile, apart from very ancient means of healing.
I see. And she sort of flicks her eyes across at Celeste.
Even my magic does not work on him.
How strange. I see.
Only the elder of the Tabaxi has managed to do anything about it.
Oh. I see. Well, I think perhaps. You see, it's very difficult for me to allow anyone with a taint of a devil to enter the forest. The sprites would not stop attacking them, even if I said come in, I can't stop the sprites. The sprites do this. This is what they do. They protect the forest. And devils, we don't want devils in the forest. So therefore the sprites know this. The sprites react to that. They can't really be reasoned with. They just are.
Would it help if we took our weaponry off, so we weren't as offensive?
It's not the weaponry, as you can see, and she sort of points to the dwarves and the fucking big dragon that have just walked through.
Yeah.
Many of whom are probably more dangerous than you, who are just companionably walking along. I mean, you've got Yorick and Gus have been let through.
Yeah.
They're not exactly shrinking violets when it comes to the old violence. So, I will have to consult, I'm afraid.
Do you really? Can't you just let us in for now and then talk about it?
I did just explain to you that even if I could let you in, the sprites will continue to sting you for all of the time.
It doesn't hurt that much.
I mean, possibly not, but imagine that all day and all night. Constant.
Okay, but I think it might be my friend who struggles with that, so we're way out here.
Miss Celeste, I believe you were entertaining the sprites and you were communicating with them, so do you think that you could talk to your friends and maybe convince them that there's no harm from these nice gentlemen here and your nice lady friend?
I had something I was actually going to try, if that's okay with you, Iotis.
That really does depend on what... I mean, obviously, you are an elder. You may do as you please. But do remember, you are obviously not of this forest, so things may not work quite as you expect.
I appreciate that, thank you. And I'll hold out my hand to Melissa.
Okay.
I'll walk over and kind of nervously take it and just kind of give Celeste a look of, what are you trying?
I'll squeeze her hand, and then I'll turn round. So I've got my hand outside of the line, holding Melissa's, and I'll just sort of say quietly under my breath, please allow her through. She is my friend. I would be dead without her. And then carefully begin to lead her to the line and just sort of slowly bring her arm across.
Make a persuasion check, please.
with advantage because she's an elder?
If I'd have
That
said
was
advantage, I
terrible.
would have said advantage, wouldn't I?
That was terrible. I only got 4.
4.
All's worth a try.
Okay. So, you gently pull Melissa through the barrier. Melissa, as your hand reaches the barrier, the little red stings happen again and again as your arm goes in.
Kind of take it for the moment until Celeste notices.
Yeah, Celeste, you can see the red glow of Melissa's arm.
I'll let her hand go, obviously, as soon as I notice.
Slide my hand back out.
I did try, Lady Celeste,
It was
the
No, I know.
sprites, whilst they are friendly to us, they don't understand what you're trying to communicate. They are wonderful but simple beings. They react as the danger approaches. That's it.
Of course.
How long will it take you to get authorization?
Oh, I've sent for authorization already. She should be.
You didn't answer my question. How long will it take?
You are quite abrupt. Your voice has changed as well.
Is there any ale?
It's very strange. And she steps out of the forest. Looks at you very carefully.
I'll smile at her. Pains me. Yes, miss, can I help you?
By how much practice has, Treador / Sprocket actually had at smiling?
Not much.
She
No.
reaches back into the forest and sort of grabs a bundle of these sprites and just sort of throws them across you. And they start. You're sort of worried because you think they're going to go red, but they just sort of float around you. And make a perception check. And anybody outside, so Miette, Florian.
I'd be stood right on the edge with Ialtis for a while.
Melissa.
13.
So I've just want those right next to Trelador at the moment. Sorry, Sprocket. So that would be just those people that were outside.
Oh,
So, Sprocket, what do you get?
15.
15. Miette?
19.
19. Florian?
15.
15. And Melissa?
13.
13. Okay. Miette. You hear tiny, tiny voices right at the... It's only because of your physiology, your ears just sort of have receptacles really for funneling sound. You can hear these tiny, tiny voices saying, divine, devilish, divine, devilish, divine, devilish. They seem really confused. And some of them are flashing red, some of them are flashing gold. It's really strange. And then they sort of zoom back into her hand. She sort of concentrates on it for a minute and then throws them back into the forest.
While my attention is obviously on what's going on with Sprocket, I do want to see if I can do that grabbing trick and, catch sprites between my paws.
Go for it. Make a dexterity check, please.
Miss, what is this?
So,
No, that is not a d20. 15.
15. Yeah, you sort of shoot a paw out to catch a few of them as they go. And a few of them sort of buzz around in your paw as you sort of hold it closed like that. You can feel them buzzing around in there. And then you see them just sort of poke out just between the strands of your fur. They just sort of escape and whisk back into the forest. They didn't hurt you. They were just like that tickly feeling. and then they escape back into the forest where they're supposed to be. So, sorry, I lost me names now. Here, hang on a sec. Ialtus looks at you very carefully, Sprocket, and says, "The sprites tell me you are full of the divine and devilment.
Well,
They're very confused."
maybe go for their first answer.
Again, your voice keeps changing. This is most disconcerting.
I don't feel well. I need ale.
Miss, I
Make a
just
deception check.
He's not good at new to this. Ooh. Pretty good for me. 18 minus 1, 17.
17. She sort of looks at you. "I'll see what I can do." Turns to Mietus. "Yes?"
dwarves. A friend here, he's going through some changes. I mean, and they all happen at different stages for different species. This has only happened for him very recently, so his voice is not quite settled.
I do like to talk about it. It's personal.
He's very sensitive as well.
mean-
It is affecting his mood.
I see. Very well. That's odd, but the divine in...
Oh yes, he
Him
is a
is-
champion of reorcs.
She sort of looks at you in astonishment.
Oh yeah, I should have left with that. Sorry.
Yes, you should have led with that.
Yes,
You would.
please lead with that. That is a very good idea.
I'm a champion of reorcs.
I'm
Right.
either that or just show him your axe. That will give it away.
And I'll take out the axe.
As you take out the axe, she steps back into the forest.
No, I wasn't going to hurt you.
You still do bear the marks of devilment, so you'll forgive me if I don't want to stand within reach of someone with a...
Oh, you bear them well, though.
I'm sure. Sorry, I've just read the chat. Like, show her your axe, is that what we're calling it now? Beautiful. Right, where did I get to? So, don't worry. The Lady Phelan will be here very shortly to determine your entry status. So,
Why? No.
so
Okay.
just to answer your earlier question, should be within moments that she arrives.
That's
What's
brilliant.
Sorry, Mia, what did you say?
Lady Eolus, may I ask? This lady who's coming sounds terribly illustrious.
Lady Phelan has responsibility. Well, she's an elder of the city, but she maintains a presence in the forests, and she has overall charge of the watchers, as it were.
Wouldn't be so bold as, so for telling the story properly later, to inquire as to what her family name might be.
Phelan is her family name. It's
Oh,
yes, it's Jaira Phelan.
my thanks.
You're welcome. She will be here momentarily, so I'm sure all of this can be resolved.
Okay. We'll just step back here and just wait. Oh, we'll let you get on.
I am in no rush. You are... Well, some of you are honoured guests, some to be honoured guests.
I don't feel well. I think these changes are causing me to be a bit sick. I'm just going to go and have a little sick back there. Miette, will you come with me?
Of course.
And I run away from the forest.
She turns round to Celeste. Lady Celeste, I do hope your companion is well. I'm quite concerned.
I think he's just had a little bit of a shock.
Oh, the sprites, do you think? Possibly, yes.
Possibly,
It
yes.
can be disconcerting for those that are not expecting the defences of the forest.
Of course.
I see. Okay.
I'll get a little way away from them and just want to conversation with Miette.
Okay.
Miette. Okay. I'm going to level with you. That's my mum. So you're very good at
Really?
talking
I
and
didn't realise. Nothing
lying.
about your reaction to the name gave it away.
I think I passed it off really well. To her. I don't think she suspected Earth. But this is going to go badly. So maybe you could use your skills. You know.
Gladly.
Yes. I'm not asking for help. I'm just saying if you want to help.
No, of course not. I understand completely.
I mean, it's your choice, but this will impact you as well.
course.
So
I
you're
would
loving this, aren't you?
happy to
You're
speak
loving
for you.
how uncomfortable I am.
This, my darling, is all performance, and you're giving me wonderful opportunities to perform, which is what I love most.
Okay, I can't talk because I put my foot in her. So how can I'll just pretend I'm really ill. Maybe if I just fall unconscious.
I will just speak for you. I am very good at speaking for people.
Okay, but I don't know you. Okay, you're doing this, off your own bat. Yes, just.
But of course I know you. That's how I'm speaking for you. You'll just have to go along with whatever I say.
Well, hold on. We don't have time to get into this, but I'm trusting this.
I know.
Remember, I'm quite powerful and I have a god on my side.
I
know you do too, but mine's better than yours.
Let's not get into that.
No.
Interesting way of asking for help.
Yes. I'm in your hands.
You also never know who's listening.
Yeah, please help. My god's better than your god. Interesting. So, whilst we wait for the Lady Phelan to turn up, Gus and Yorick, you are escorted into. The forest seems to change. It's all sort of dense jungle canopy, vines, weird-looking flowers, exotic smells and noises, and then it's not. Then it's giant trees that stretch up for hundreds of feet. These beautiful, deep red bark, almost smooth, and the first branches are 50, 60 feet up in the air. And you look a little closer, and there are platforms up there, and dwellings, houses, all sorts of interesting, and as you look closely, elves. Lots of elves, just going about their daily business, 60 feet up in the air.
That's unnaturally high up there, isn't it?
They might say about us up a mountain, though, I suppose.
That's true, yeah.
Pretty cool, though.
We've got rock beneath our feet, not bloody air, though, haven't we?
Cool, though.
One of the elves that's escorting you comes across. So, what we can do now is, if you would all care to follow me, Bridris, is it?
Yeah, that's Bridris.
Bridris. She looks deeply into Bridris's eyes and starts to speak Draconic and asks Bridris if you would leave the little ones with us and perhaps you could fly up and we will take the little ones through the trees. What do you think Bridris would say to that? I'm leaving this for you.
Okay, I think by now she'll have formed a little bit of a bond with the children.
Yeah.
And would be very rather protective of them. And I think she'd look to Gus for encouragement, but sort of reluctantly let them go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So she looks at this elf speaking Draconic and then looks across at you and says, and you hear in your mind, Mum, should I?
I think it's all right. The elves are here to help. So
Right
don't
up.
worry, we'll meet them when they'll go up. You can fly up, and the rest of us will walk up.
I know. And she sort of
We don't have wings like you.
lets her wing down, touches the floor, and the children, at her signal, you don't know how they know. They just seem to know. They all just like throw a leg over and slide down her wing onto the ground, sort of butt tumbling into the soft mossy floor. And she's like picks her wing up, and flaps, sort of shakes her wings, and just sort of roars at the children, and they all go ah! And then they go ah! At her, and she goes ah! And then she takes off and flies up to the treetops. So while all this is going on, two of the other elves have opened. You don't know how, didn't see how they do it. Yorick, you could roll a perception check if you wanted to know, to see if you could see how they did it.
15.
15. They didn't sort of press a panel or a hidden doorway or anything. What they did was they each laid a hand on the bark of this tree, this really wide tree. I mean, this is about 50, 60 feet wide. It's enormous. Think giant redwood style. They each put a hand on this tree, and you see a doorway opens, beautifully carved. No door in it, just sort of inky black space. And they're both standing there either side of this, holding on to this, pressing their hands against this tree. You can see the bark's just starting to grow over their hands as they gesture you to go through into the darkness. Do you want to go in?
Yep.
Okay. As you walk through the darkness, there's a sort of chill and then a intense smell of bark and sweet sticky sap, as if you'd put your face into a freshly cut tree. And then all of a sudden you step out and you are 120 feet in the air on a platform that is just, it has no edges to it. It's about 20 feet wide.
Oh, that was 6:30.
Yeah, and you look out across and see all of these sort of almost string-like bridges between these huge trees, and then sort of ramps that go up and curve naturally like tree branches. But you can see some of them have steps cut in. It's almost indescribably beautiful, and yet doesn't seem man-made at all. It all appears to be natural. And one by one, your fellow dwarves all pop out of this platform. And then the elves come out and the portal closes behind you. So, we have some quarters this way, and she leads you round on this platform. Oh, do try not to fall off. It's quite a way down.
Even farther for us.
Well, no,
Should we shorter?
because you're closer to it, so it'd be further for me, wouldn't it, logically?
Yeah, but relative.
Well, I suppose relatively, the trees
Yeah.
are slightly bigger to you
If
than
it's like
us.
100 times your height to the floor, it's like 200 times mine.
That is true. You probably bounce. She just said completely straight-faced. It wasn't a joke. It was, you'll probably bounce. She's just thinking about it. Yeah, you probably would. Just sort of, the floor's sort of mossy.
I would smirk as if it was a joke, but
Yeah, she continues on. The floor's like a springy moss, so you would bounce quite far. I wonder how far you would roll. She sort of looks at you.
We could test it on Gus.
Okay. Just a quick note. Elves, as you may have noticed, travelling with Celeste, have no sense of humour. So, right, which one is Gus?
Yes. And I'll point at Yorick.
Right. Perhaps later. She seems a little confused. Leads you round the corner into a much wider platform with sort of overhanging branches. Looks like sort of two of these massive branches have sort of intertwined to create this space where there are soft, almost like carpet-like moss around, and there's essentially they've grown tables and benches out of the branches of these trees, and they are coated again with this soft, dry moss. They invite you to sit down, and food is brought. There are berries, nuts, all sorts of things that you've not had before. Breads that look strange and fluffy. And some of the food you don't really recognise. There's no meat here at all, but there are things that you don't know what it is.
I'll give anything a try.
Okay.
Yep. I'm not really bothered. I'll just dig in.
Yep. So once the rest of the dwarves see, well, let's see who. Oh God, I can't remember his name. No, come on.
Orman.
Yes. Once he starts to eat, he's like, oh no. He's really loving it, and he points at this sort of a strange, dark brown, sort of about that big, almost looks bread-like, loaf-shaped. But as he picks it up on this platter, it starts to wobble like a jelly, and he sort of cuts into it, and it slices like bread, sort of, and just falls ever so slowly. He picks this slice up and just eats it, and the look on his face is like, this is the best thing he has ever tasted. He said, I had this one time, and it was fantastic. I didn't need to eat anything else for weeks. And he continues scarfing it down. So
I'll try a bit of that.
As you do so, and the rest of the dwarves, especially the kids, just fall on this feast because they've not eaten a huge amount since that bacon butty that he made for them on your trek. This thing, it tastes divine. It's light and fluffy like a mousse, and yet incredibly filling. And it tastes sort of caramelly, and it's just beautiful. Soft, light, fluffy, slightly moist, and gorgeous. So the elves bring you large wooden beakers of a foaming liquid. They say, we do apologise, it is not dwarven ale, but it is something fermented, and we hope you like it.
Oh, thank you very much.
So as you try
Very
this,
nice.
it tastes odd. It's very fruity. It's like a sort of almost a raspberry sharpness to it, with dark sort of cinnamon flavour underneath, and a little tiny amount of bubbles. And as you drink it, you think, this is actually very alcoholic. This is not a beer as such. This is more of a kind of like a brandy wine almost. It is
Well, I like it.
extremely alcoholic, and you can see the older dwarves are like, whoa! Starting to get into it. So, as you're having this feast, one of the elves comes and sees you two sitting together. Says, so, would you be in charge here, or would this be the elder? Points across at Thor.
I suppose I'm in charge at the moment.
Right. Okay. So, a few questions we need to ask. Is anybody? We can't see any obvious injuries. Is there anybody that needs any healing of any kind? Any counselling, perhaps the little ones?
Counselling. That's cute. No. No. Nobody needs any counselling. These are dwarves. Right.
Well, we have not conversed with dwarves for many years. I have never conversed with a dwarf, so but my ancestors obviously did. So we were expecting you. So how many more are there to come? What can we do? What else can we do to help?
That I don't know. I don't know how many more there are. This was the first batch that we found.
I see.
I
So
really want to go back.
I see. You're going back to rescue more. I see. I understand.
That's my plan. Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Excellent. Okay, then we will prepare. We have 100 berths prepared up, and she points into a tree about 200-300 feet away, where you can see is slightly taller than this one. There are many beds prepared there. We have dedicated an entire hospital. She points to another tree. Ferenz was enthusiastic that we be prepared for many casualties and many people to be sent to us for assistance and aid.
Right. Where did you? That's all very amazing. Thank you so much. We cannot offer enough gratitude for your hospitality.
We are happy to do this for the dwarves.
How did you know that we were coming?
Ferenz. Where is Ferenz? Not here with you? The tall chap.
He stayed. Yeah, we only met him yesterday. I think he stayed back at the edge of the forest with the rest.
Right. Curious fellow. Said that the Great One, I think he calls it. Something like that. A dragon of some kind, he said. Told him there was going to be many casualties and he should do as much as possible to help. Perhaps he has already gone back. This would be like him. He is a strange fellow, but we found him to be kind, very kind.
And he speaks to a dragon.
Well, he said...
Gosh, you'll have to have a word with him, mate.
He said that he did. Perhaps it was Bridris? Although that doesn't seem quite right.
It wouldn't be Bridris.
Right. Well, perhaps when he comes, he can talk to you and tell you all about this. I do not know any more than that. He just mentioned a Great One and a dragon of some kind. Maybe
we can ask him when he gets back.
Maybe he was talking about the dragons in the mountains. I don't know, to be honest. I'm unsure. Ferenz is difficult sometimes to understand. He's very other. As you can tell, he is not of the forest. He is of somewhere else. But kind, as we said, and helpful, if confusing.
Right, well, I haven't really had a chance to speak to him yet, so...
Right.
Right. So, Gus, what are we going to do? We're going to head back to the rest of them? Sorry,
Everyone's settled here. I think we should head back and see what's going to happen. I mean, I think we're going to spend the night here anyway, aren't we? And then we'll go out and look for some more tomorrow.
yeah, I think so.
Okay. So she's, please enjoy the rest of your feast, and if there is anything that you or your companions need, please just ask anyone. We will all be more than happy to help.
Thank you. Quick question. Do you have any rules on late night noise? Because I have a feeling that the safety and this quite potent alcohol you've given us is going to cause quite a rouse in some of the elderly folk.
Oh, I see. No, not at all. Make as much noise as you wish. We can cloak the tree and provide you with as many of the drinks as you wish. And if you wish to get rowdy, you will not disturb anyone. In fact, we would welcome the sounds of happiness and joy to the forest. The forest is for everyone. The forest is for enjoyment and wondrousness. We, again,
Good to know.
say you are very welcome. So, we leave the dwarves to their merriment, drinking, feasting, and go back to the edge of the forest, where Lady Phelan has turned up. She appears at the edge of the forest, just out of nowhere. Nobody sees her coming, not even Celeste. She appears standing and then steps out of the forest, a long multicoloured robe on. How you didn't see her, you don't know, because it's red, green, blue, yellow, orange, white, just patches, no pattern, just patches and strangeness and shifting colours. So, we have unwelcome visitors. Ah, Ferenz is here. How absolutely brilliant. I should have known.
Hello.
Hello, Ferenz. So, what have you brought us? Let's go and see, shall we? And she takes one step and then appears to be outside the forest without moving through the curtain. She is now outside of the forest and standing about a foot away from Melissa. Melissa, you watch the forest and you can see Ferenz saying hello, and then there's an elf there. She's tall. She's about 6'7", 6'8", and she's long silvery blonde hair. There's two braids in the side that sort of swoop down. Classically beautiful elf, pointed features, silver and gold rings in her ears, and a silver chain that dangles. So, you would be one of the devil touched that wish to enter the forest. Is that correct?
That is certainly correct, Lady Phelan, I presume.
Ah, my apologies, how rude of me. My name is Jaira Phelan. I have recently become the warden of the forest, much to my husband's annoyance. So, your name, please?
Melissa Vernath.
Melissa Verna. Interesting. So, you would like to enter the forest, is this correct?
Yes, that would be preferred, so that I can continue traveling with my friends.
I see. And your friends would be the dwarves that have already entered the forest, is that correct?
Yes, indeed.
So, if you don't mind, a small spell, just inquisitive in nature, and she whispers into her hand, and just sort of, and much like the sprites, there's a sort of almost a field of glitter that expands out in front of your face, and it's beautiful to look at. And all you can do is look at these little twinkling, falling motes of glitter in the air. And you watch as they fall all the way down towards your feet and disappear into the grass. Ah, I see. So, you are indeed in some kind of pact with a devil. This is disconcerting. Something to do with blood, I feel. I don't know the exact details, but it does seem unlikely that you would be let into the forest, my dear.
That I understand, but to make my response, I would say that the pact was not a choice of mine. I did not enter it willingly. It's something that has been thrust upon me, not as directly and out of my control as my other two compatriots that are having trouble as well, but if you would see it fit, I would be willing to have, if you have any ways of suppressing magic, I would in fact welcome it.
I see. Make a persuasion check.
It feels like the first persuasion check I've had to make.
I mean, could be.
And I'm sitting here plus 11.
Wow.
26.
26. She looks at you, nods. I'll see what I can do. So, the others that are having problems, and she looks about, sees you, Miette. What are you currently up to?
I'm going to be standing with one paw on Sprocket's shoulder, but if Florian's in reach, I'm going to, push him forward to go next.
I mean, absolutely, you can do that. Florian, you just get a paw in your back, sort of pushing you
I was
forward
going to say, I would actually look over, I would probably bow, so I would probably be just a little bit of a stumble as the push comes in.
She sort of raises an eyebrow and looks at you, Miette.
Hello.
Hello. Turns her attention to Florian. My dear, a similar, if you don't mind.
Of course, Lady Thalen. I'm Florian Winchester.
And as you say that, the glitter appears in front of your eyes, and you sort of, whoa, it's really pretty. You watch it as it falls to the floor and disappears. You are no longer touched by devilry, but you were.
Indeed.
How interesting. But the same devil. And you wear the same colours. This feels a bit culty.
It does. Not speaking for Melissa over there, but I used to be part of the same temple, which was to spread love and knowledge. That's now become apparent. It's maybe not what it was to do.
I see.
And again, if I may, just to enlighten the situation a bit more, as far as I know, it was devil touched with a binding curse with my twin sister, who is currently under great duress and has been captured by said devil.
I see. Watch it very carefully. Well, I would certainly not mind you entering the forest. I can place an enchantment on you so that the sprites will ignore you as if you were not there to them. If you wish to move into the forest.
I think I'll see what happens with Mr. Sprocket over here. He's very similar to me, but he has the devil curse on him. He did a very big thing and took it from me, so I did not have to suffer the pain.
I see. And she turns her attention to you, Sprocket.
This is my good friend Sprocket, and he's so overcome by the journey and the troubles in arriving here. He has asked me to speak on his behalf.
I see.
Not like it.
Make a deception check.
Wait, near Sprocket or...
You.
Okay.
You're the one lying. You make the deception
Okay,
check.
yes. Sorry, just saying you to an either or question.
Yeah,
is not
sorry.
fair.
My bad.
Could I go for
Please.
performance or persuasion instead, by any chance? Fuck it.
Yeah, I'll let you have performance. Go on.
Okay,
It is a
On
kind
performance-
of a lie, isn't it? A performance, so...
absolutely. Yeah, it's a long experience with acting. On performance, that's 14.
14. She looks at you. And you feel the weight of an ancient elf looking back at you, boring into you. And you hear in your mind, now, dear, there's no need to lie to me. You can respond if you wish, in your mind or out loud.
I'll respond in my mind because this is like it's a novel having a different voice in there. It's like I do not wish to lie. I only wish to speak for my friend.
Yes, that part wasn't the lie, was it? She rolled really high on her check.
I am a performer by nature. I cannot help but exaggerate somewhat when I am trying to. I cannot think of the word. I am trying to speak well of my friend, to impress upon you his deeds and his travails and the things he has done that show him to be a good person beyond the marks on his chest.
I see. I understand.
But also because he is a dear friend, there is a certain necessity to make this difficult for him, as only a friend can.
Her expression doesn't change, but you hear in your head just a small giggle.
Sprocket's just looking at the two, like we
Yeah.
look at each other, like I'm going.
Sprocket or Trelador, you would know your mother is more than capable of speaking to people in their heads. You have no idea what she's saying to me right now, but you know she's talking to her. You've seen her do this so many times. It is so frustrating when she does it because you know, or you suspect, she's talking about you.
Yeah.
And absolutely, in this moment, you feel it in your bones. She's talking about you. So, she turns her attention to you. So, young Sprocket, was it?
Sprout.
I see. Now, I don't expect you to answer directly, but I do wish to do the same as with your friends. A quick spell, if
I'll
that's
just take
okay.
Step back.
Just, Miss, I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. How rude of me.
I do apologise, Madame Miette.
Madame Miette. And Madame of the Tabaxi, how honoured I am. Thank you.
Thank you.
May I cast?
Please do.
And the glitter falls. And what I want you to do is make a deception check. Now, I'll tell you the DC for this. The DC for this is 17.
A check must. Yeah, check.
Yeah.
17.
17. What'd you get?
Natural 1. A 0.
Oh, ouch. Oof. So, as the glitter falls down in front of your face, it's beautiful, and you watch it as it falls to the floor and disappears. And you look back up, and your mother is staring deeply into your face. Now,
At this point, I'm going to sidle away because,
yeah,
this
I'm
one's locked.
pretty sure the ruse is up. As she looks deeply into your face, Trelador. We'll take a break. Because we've gone longer than we normally do before a break. So we'll take a little break just to prolong Dan's agony some more.
Yep.
Fuck's sake, yeah.
The only work with the tools I'm given.
We will be right back, and we'll pick this up directly from that scene when we come back.
Mock it.
And welcome back. We plunge straight back in and pick up with the Lady Phelan staring directly into the face of Trelador, who's currently going by the name Sprocket. She stares at you. And you've encountered this stare before. Kind of makes you want to tell her all the things you've just done wrong. She looks at you, and she waits. She looks at you, and she waits. Yes, Mia.
Timing.
Oh,
Mia
cat is
is
appearing.
Cat has reappeared. Sorry.
Just,
We'll start now as soon as I get her ladyship settled.
Okay, no worries. We all know what tabaxi are like. Fickle creatures.
Very fickle. So yes, after starting to sidle away, I am going to turn back, put my paw firmly back on Sprocket's shoulder,
Right.
and can place myself some half step in front of him,
Mm-hmm.
but also not quite blocking the maternal glare,
Yeah.
and kind of just stare back at Lady Phelan until she acknowledges me.
Okay. She is completely ignoring you. You feel as though you're not even there. She
Okay.
stares.
That being the case, I will move in front of Trelador and move him back half step
Okay.
because he is now shorter than me.
Yes, he is.
Yes. So then I will turn around so he is blocked by me and
Too much talking, obviously.
Yeah.
tabaxi. Yep. And stare back at Lady Phelan.
She sort of blinks, looks at you. So, you wish to tell me exactly what is going on here, then, with this not dwarf?
As I said to you before, I am Madame Miette.
You are.
I am the leader of a caravan.
Indeed.
Sprocket behind me is of my caravan. I promised him to speak for him, and I will do so.
Very well. Madam, yes, you have come to the great forest of Drummond, and as such have wandered into my domain. And as one leader to another, I would ask for some truth. Why is this person a dwarf when they did not start as a dwarf? And, well, let's start there, shall we? I'm sure I will have some other questions very, and she looks over your shoulder, shortly.
Sprocket
Not
is a
his
champion
name,
of
but
Reorx.
okay.
It is the name he's going by now. We have chosen it for him.
Okay.
He's a champion of Reorx and has been conferred several gifts from the god. First of all, the strength and the gift of carrying the curse that was previously laid upon Florian,
I see.
and then also disappearance as a boon from Yorks.
I see. Would it not have been better to lead with that, rather than have me cast my magics and learn for myself a deception?
But was your magics not necessary to determine the truth of the
Indeed. But
words?
you
The devil
could,
curse.
you could have told me this. Could you not? He
I
could
could.
quite easily have told me this.
We could have told you directly, but he has been trained to be a tabaxi of our caravan, and as such, storytelling is very important.
So, what you're saying is that this Sprocket, who has become a dwarf, now wishes to be a tabaxi.
Oh, he has no choice in being the tabaxi because he is part of the caravan. That is a long process in work.
This does smack of fickleness.
He does have a tail on occasion, though.
One of her immaculate eyebrows just raises. Really?
And the other two dwarves as well, you can check with them. Gus quite liked his.
She looks around. Gus?
The dwarf
Which
with
one
the
is
dragon
Gus?
already left inside.
I have not seen
The dragon mother?
the dragon mother.
Oh, you haven't met him yet.
No.
He's a nice chap.
We are straying from the point. Very good. I like your commitment. It's excellent. But I would know the truth, please. You are all welcome in the forest, apart from, currently, the Lady Melissa Verneth and he who is known as Sprocket. Now, to change my mind, I would want to know some truths. Who is that? He points at Sprocket.
I have told you who he is. He is Sprocket,
You have
champion
told...
champion of Yorks, and a member of my caravan.
Can I?
If possible, and I admit that this may be pushing the limits of my power here and intruding upon your power, Madame Miette, I would like to know if you will vouch for each member of your party and tell me that they are true of heart, mean no harm, and carry no evil into my forest. I am willing to cast an enchantment that will hide their nature or their curse from the sprites. But I want your word as the Madame of the Tabaxi right now.
As Madame Miette of a caravan of the Wandering Gas, I vouch for each one of these people, who are members of my caravan, for being true of heart and intent, and they wish to do nothing but good in the world, and not bring any ill into your forest.
Persuasion check with advantage.
I was very persuaded.
Yeah.
When she was looking at me, did she mention my name? Like when she looked through the description?
Yeah, we're going with the 22 there.
22. Okay. She looks at you very carefully. Remember when you were small and you got into trouble? Always. And normally it would let slide, or you'd be, scooped up and put somewhere else. Just occasionally, when you knew you'd done something that was, you really shouldn't have done that. That was a bad thing. Not mischief, a bad thing. And that little feeling, that sort of at the back of your neck, and you start to go red. You get that feeling as she looks at you intently. And steps one pace back. Trelador.
Okay.
Whoever the fuck you are right now, you recognise this stance. She is not convinced that she knows there's something wrong. She knows that there is a deception that she just can't find yet.
Yeah, I'm going to carry on letting Miette handle it. She agreed to do this, so I want her.
Can I try? Can I just do something?
You can certainly try.
Yeah. So I'd like to just step forward, sort of in between Miette and not like directly in between, but as in like to the side, but like in the middle of them.
Okay, they're about a pace or two apart at the moment. She's just stepped back one pace, so.
But basically, like bow to both of them. And then I'll do Lady Thalen first, and then Miette.
Okay, hang on a second. I just want to look up something real quick. Oh, come on.
Someone got calm emotion. For me, not for Rocket.
Okay. Fair enough. So, what were you going to do?
Yeah, so not like step between them, but what I meant was like step.
So that both of them can see you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bow to both of them, Lady Thalen first, and then Madame Miette. And then as I bow to Miette, I'll keep down for a bit longer and say, Madame, hope I'm not intruding, but do you mind if I just indulge and give a little bit more perspective on this?
Please do.
Madame Miette, you are the Madame, yes? Therefore, you need someone else to speak for you? I thought we had agreed, or you had just agreed, to be responsible. Is that right? So,
I am responsible.
No offence, Mr. Florian Winchester, but you I have already spoken to and have welcomed into my forest. This, with all due respect, does not concern you.
And yet it does. because Florian and Sprocket have a relationship that is peculiar to the two of them.
This grows
And the curse
tiresome.
is to do with the potential end of the world, which is we're trying to stop.
She's just looking at you. Well, carry on. You've been given your chance.
We have been going around, and a lot of us new to this, a lot of us new to finding out that daddies still exist, and we're trying to find answers and ways to stop this. But this end of the world thing, for both me and Sprocket, does land and lay heavy with us. We want it to stop. The curse is not good. The longer you have it, the more pain you are in. And he did a very, very brave, if not foolish, I might say, thing by taking that pain from me. But it is what it is. I thank him for that, and I will stand by him to complete this and get this done, but I really don't want the world to end, and especially think you don't either.
Are you finished?
I am, Lady Valen. Thank you.
I will consider your words. She looks back to you, Miette. So, you have talkative types, and
You have no idea.
looks over your shoulder. Non-talkative types, and Ferenz obviously is here. She can just sense you out. It's like the back of her head. She's like,
It's Dash. He's behind me, isn't he? Me.
yeah. I will grant you one night in my forest, young Sprocket. This goes for you as well, Melissa Vernoth. I will enchant you, with your permission, so the sprites ignore you and allow you to stay in my forest for the evening. But tomorrow morning, you will be on your way, and you will go to prevent, and she looks at you, Florian, the end of the world, as you so eloquently put it, Mr. Winchester, with our blessing. But the truth always comes out. Always. She reaches out her hand past you, yet, to Sprocket, and you feel it's like the sprites are over you, and there's a sort of faint shimmer, and just for an instant you feel taller and more elven, and then you're back to your dwarven self. She reaches out, Miss Vernon, the same, and you feel taller, more elven for a moment, and then you're back to yourself. And with you, Mr. Winchester, the same, you feel elven, and then back to yourself. So, the duty ranger will show you to where your companions are, Firenze will be going along too, I have no doubt. Enjoy your evening, Madame Miette. Your caravan is welcome.
Thank you, Lady Phelan.
If there is anything we can do for you, simply ask, and it shall be done.
I hope there will be a future date that my caravan will return here, and then we'll be able to tell you everything in full.
I certainly hope so. I look forward to those days when we are all a little older and a little looks across at Sprocket again, wiser. But for now, we must be blissful in our ignorance, shall we say. Please,
Indeed.
into the forest.
Can I ask one question?
Of course you can.
Do I get the feeling that she has more disdain that Sprocket is a dwarf, or that Sprocket has returned back to the forest?
You're going to insight check her, aren't you? Come on. Had to be done.
Okay, that's my mum.
Oh, okay, it's your mum. You talk to her then.
19.
I mean,
19. It's not the fact that he's a dwarf, or even the fact that he's returned. You get the feeling she knows he is not who he claims to be. It's not just the devil spell upon him, or that binding spell, that scarring. There's a deception there that she doesn't quite understand. And that is what has annoyed her most, that you were all keeping it from her, and she's not used to not knowing things. She can find out anything, and yet Sprocket refused to talk to her, and Miette effectively pulled rank on her. That she did not. She was not best pleased with at all. You talking to her annoyed her even more, because she was about to give in, and then you spoke. So she is now unhappy. But you get that impression before she
Capital letters.
vanishes.
And as soon as she vanishes,
she doesn't just like fade into the background. She literally vanishes.
as soon as she vanishes, I'll just go to Miette. I think I handled that quite well.
Fuck's sake.
I am going to put my paw back in his shoulder and do it slowly so I can find all the chinks in the armor and extend my claws until they just start pressing flesh. And get really up close in his face. You owe me.
Do I?
Yeah, you do.
It is not too late for me to find that woman and tell her everything.
I don't think she'd let you do that. I think she'd be pretty pissed off that you lied to her face. I mean, you did well. We did well. Anyway, we should get moving.
excuse me, fellows, then. So, if we're all quite done hanging out on the edge of the forest, I would like quite much to get back in there and see what's happening. Please and thank you.
Okay. And as you say that, lost it. Ealtis also stands forward. Well, that was interesting.
The new warden. Do you
She's-
have an election for wardens?
No. No.
No.
No. No. And as you step
How?
through into the forest, Miette, you get that warm, tickly feeling again. The rest of you, and friends, you get it as well. The rest of you, nothing happens. There's no glow, there's no warm, tickly, there's no pinpoints of pain. Nothing. And Ealtis says, So let's go, shall we? I'll take you to the feast and your companions, friends, and we can have a joyous evening. And she starts to guide you through this dense, thick undergrowth. And after a while, you experience this that the dwarves had experienced earlier. These huge redwoods. And they're hundreds of feet tall. And you can hear, I think by now, definitely some dwarven drinking songs are occurring.
Maybe.
It's been a while, and there's lots of strong liquor available, so I would suggest that's happening. If it's not you two, then it's the rest of them.
Mhm.
You know, and Bridris has also landed here and is eating quite happily. When out of nowhere, it seems, the Altus doesn't lead you through the portal like the dwarves. She says, I can do this, just sort of squeeze up and hold each other's hands. That's it, lovely. And she just sort of casts, and again you see this dust appear over everyone, and woof, you get this rush of air as you suddenly land on this platform in front of quite a few, not drunk, but getting there, dwarves and elves bringing more drinks, and there is food aplenty. And Gus, Yorick, you see your companions appear, and friends.
Hey, are you finally caught up then?
Yeah, we have. Good to see you.
It's over there, drinks over here. Come and join in.
I'll go and get some drinks then. Yeah, what do you want?
Oh, well, I'll take whatever you're having.
I'll get you one and then where are you even? And I'll wander off.
I'm gonna
Pick up a
I'm gonna
large.
follow him to where the drinks are.
Okay.
Friends will just pick up a large sort of him-sized stein of this brandy wine and start sipping.
It's very good.
I'm gonna follow the Sprockador
Sprockador, yeah.
with the drinks, and
Nice.
if it's relatively quiet, I'm just gonna look over to him and you doing all right? Because
Yep.
if I was you, I would not be.
I'm fine.
Well, I know you don't trust me, but if you ever need an ear, someone to talk to, I'm always here.
Right.
Now you best get those drinks back, because you know how thirsty dwarves can get.
And I'll head
Imagine
back and
you-
give me a head drink.
Okay.
This is not. This is a drink. Net stalks off, tail lashing.
Okay. Celeste, you see this elven feast. You haven't seen an elven feast for, it feels like forever. And this isn't quite what you're used to. You're used to a more sort of city-based elven life. This is wonderful. These are the foods that you remember as a child when you would go out to the forests and meet with the elves that lived in the forests. And their strange to you ways. You remember that. And here, it is just wonderful. And elves that pass just look at you, just do a double take, some of them, and just quick, respectful bow, and then move on. And the food is glorious. The drink is wonderful. Whether it's alcoholic or not, your choice. It all equally beautiful.
I'll probably have a small glass of the alcohol and then switch to non-alcohol.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I won't touch any of the alcohol. I'll just stick to
There are fruit
Have the
juices
food.
and cordials and all sorts of
Yeah.
interesting things.
I think Florian will try every type of food which is down there.
Yep.
Just stick to a sober evening, watching out. And
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll need to seek out Yorick, actually.
Fair enough. Yorick is
Briefly.
easy enough to find.
Yeah, and just advise him of the conversation that took place outside and kind of, we are only given permission to stay here for the night. Well, my caravan, if you wish to be separate from the caravan for the moment so you can come and go with the refugees as you need to, I will understand.
Yeah. Not sure what the plan is. Need to go back to the mountains and try and rescue some more people and then bring them back here. So,
Might
dunno.
a word with your boss be in order to find out what to do next?
Say that again?
Having a word with your boss. So as
Yeah.
because the other option is to go into the fire waste and try and rescue Florian's sister, and I'm not looking forward to that as an option.
You. Yeah, speak to the boss. He likes having a chat with me when I've had a drink. Good plan. All right. I'll go speak with him.
Okay. Are you talking to him directly now, or do you want to go somewhere quieter, or what do you want to do?
No, I'll probably just with having had a skinful, just turn around, just start talking to the ceiling.
Okay.
Hey, Reox, you're about, mate.
Yorick? Hello.
Look, can you see? I rescued some.
Aye, that you did. You're a good boy. Good work.
Do I need to go back? Are there more that I can save?
Well, there's what I'd like you to do, really, is try to find some way of talking to the dragons.
Wait.
Try to stop the war. See, the dragons, if they can be reasoned with, will be of great help. I know that traditionally the dragons have not been on our side, but with
Oh, we had to fight one earlier.
aye,
We thought about
so,
it was a sapphire though.
aye. Well, sapphires probably not the best ones to start the war of words, as it were, with.
We met someone yesterday, big tall fella, right?
Aye,
Apparently he's got a big dragon mate or something.
has he? Oh, that sounds promising.
Yeah. Think I might talk to him and see if he's big dragon mate or something. I mean, this is coming from I'm not sure what he is to an elf to me, so I don't know. But
Well,
I'll try.
I suggest you investigate that.
Yeah.
But tell you what, though, have a good bloody drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Good.
Oh, and tell Trellador, where is he? Trellador, you hear this in your head. Trellador, are you drinking?
Is anyone around me?
I mean, where are you?
Probably in the middle.
Yeah, you're just in the middle. There's dwarves everywhere. There's stalked off. Everybody's around. Yorick is shouting at the ceiling.
You've got a drink.
Excellent. What? What's happened to your voice?
I'm trying to fit in.
With what?
Well, this is how you all talk, isn't it?
Well, I don't talk like that.
Look,
Well, I liked your voice. Go back to that one.
no. I can't hear. I can't do it here.
That's better. What can't you do?
But it's been quite a day today, all right? I really don't need this from you.
Oh, okay. Have a drink.
I've got a drink.
Have another one.
All right.
Get lots. Get hammered. Oh, don't fall off the trees, though. Whatever
Yeah.
You won't.
she said earlier, you'll bounce. You won't. You'll die.
So,
So,
All right.
and tell Gus. Just tell him this. He won't know what the fuck I mean. It'll confuse him. It'll be really funny.
so
He doesn't. It's not hard to confuse him.
I
No.
don't know, but it's fun.
All right.
No, don't do that.
All right.
That doesn't really work for me. I don't. No. Did you want me to change you back now?
No. No.
that'd be hilarious.
I would, wouldn't it?
That would be so funny.
If it was Balo, like that. But it's Reorcs. So, have fun, drink a lot, don't fall off the trees. Right. Any words vanish into the night. So, you continue on drinking, feasting. Whenever you are ready, you are shown to other chambers that have beautifully soft beds and just the most comfortable you've been for a very, very long time. The atmosphere is quiet, relaxing, calming, unless you want it to be otherwise. And then it's carousing, loud, but it doesn't seem to penetrate the bed chambers where people are sleeping. Some sort of enchantment is upon them that when you're in there, the sounds you make don't carry outside, and outside noise doesn't carry inside. So, unless there's anything you wish to do,
I think drunk, sleep, eaten, safe,
it's
resting. I think we'll have a good sleep tonight.
it's safe. You feel rested, drunk, loud, noisy, whatever you want to be. That's where we'll end for tonight. So, thank you all very much for playing. That was good fun. So, apologies to those of us who didn't get to do a lot of talking tonight. The dwarves mainly, just a little bit, certainly. But it was a kind of a Sprogador centric episode, really. It had to be. So, apologies for that. But we will continue on next Tuesday. So, I'm assuming, Florian, you've made lots of notes.
I've made notes, but the one thing I will point out, and I think it makes it canon, is that in the notes I've referred to said person as Sprocket.
Well, we'll see when that recap turns up what happens.
But
So,
yes, notes have been made.
copious notes have been made. So, let's do a round the room thing. It's probably going to be pretty quick for some people because there weren't a huge amount of involvements. Who wants to start, or shall I just pick?
I've got a question.
Oh, okay. Yorick.
Dan, your dwarven accent, was that purposefully terrible, or is that just your best attempt?
Yes.
It did have about 4 different accents. So
Well
we did
answered.
really well.
Well,
answered.
he's learning. You know, he wouldn't just go straight into it.
Very true. Very true.
It's,
It,
No,
it
I don't believe you.
absolutely fit that it just didn't sound right at all.
Yeah, you'd think he'd be able to do like a really good country accent. Considering I'm from the country.
Yeah.
I can't do West Country though.
indeed. So, anything else from you, Yorick? Apart from that accent was horrible.
I didn't say it was horrible.
Terrible, I think your words were.
I've
Sorry.
got that.
Transitional, we'll call it.
Transition.
Transition. That makes sense.
I'm not one to talk. I can't do an accent for toffee. So, there you go. And nothing else from you, Yorick?
No,
No.
nothing more.
Okay, we'll go up the way. We will go with Melissa.
You ever like visit a forest and then just have your entire life and the inevitable damnation of your soul put into sharp relief by incredibly judgy little tiny sprites?
No, I haven't. Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It's very, very odd feeling.
Did you like that? No.
It was also very interesting. It's like Melissa's sitting there watching this unfold with Sprocket and his mother, and it's like Melissa's just sitting there going, "Yeah, yeah, no, that makes sense.
Judgy mummy.
I relate." I'm not judging, kind of more of a no, that makes sense. I can relate, kind of thing.
Fair enough. Anything else, Melissa?
Not for now.
Okay, cool. Firenz, what you got?
It's no longer called getting drunk, it's called getting dwarf.
Oh, okay, getting dwarf. Good, like it.
And yeah, I just love the fact that the elves are confused as shit about friends.
Oh
I
yeah,
love it.
they have no idea what you're all about. I mean, they quite like you, but they're just like, what?
Yeah, and I love that he's giving off that vibe because that's exactly what I was going for. But yeah, I think that sort of, Lady Phelan's exasperation kind of he's peak where Friends wants to be.
Fair enough.
So yeah, I'm just really happy to be playing this character. It's so fun.
It's good. I like Firenz. I do. Miette, what you got for me?
Yeah, I feel I haven't had a chance to go peek me yet in a while, so tonight was epic. Could have been even better if not for someone's failed role, but we won't mention that.
I mean, I thought it was brilliantly rescued. It really did.
Well, I thought, who could lie for me? Yet.
I mean,
Who do I not mind throwing under the bus in front of my mother?
Yeah.
Yet.
I mean, it was absolutely poetic where you were just enjoying so much him asking you to help him in his own special way when he asked him, but my God's better than yours. And it was like, yes, that's perfect.
And then, don't make me call him. I don't want to call him.
And then when you were facing down the Lady Phelan and just...
I am so impressed I got an eyebrow raised.
Yeah.
I got to win.
Like, she knew there was something going on, but she didn't know what it was, and it was really annoying her. So well done. That was brilliant.
Also some nice unexpected art like there. That was fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, this will be all about the dwarves, and suddenly there's an elder in the forest.
Yes.
A new elder. Celeste, full rank, become queen.
Yeah.
I'm queen of the pixie people.
Take it over. Okay. My forest now.
My elf is much older than yours.
Yeah.
Florian, what you got? Apart from a big stack of notes.
Yeah, I was finding it hard in the beginning to... Right, I find it hard to take notes anyway because I like to get everything down, but you've got to kind of shorten it quite a bit, obviously, for a recap. Hence a recap.
Yeah.
So I think what I've written is basically my recap. I just need to type it out, make a few changes, and get it over to you. So it could be the quickest one yet.
Cool.
In game, the confirmation on everything for me with it have been or still are devil touched. Relief that I have been devil touched was essentially the only one allowed into the forest after that spell, if I wanted to do so. But also leaves me with a slight unease that I don't have the curse on me, but I'm still a big thing to do with this because my sister's still with the Prince of Hell. So yeah, ponderings to be done, thoughts to be had, and decisions to be chatted about and then made in 2 days' time.
Fair enough. Celeste, thoughts?
Yeah, she doesn't like being praised like this. She's not used to that kind of treatment. She's just used to being told what to do and basically doing it. So these pixies and other elves starting to revere her is making her quite uncomfortable.
I hadn't noticed that. Well, you kind of must have expected something to happen.
I didn't even think that they would notice that I was different.
An elf coming into an elven forest? Who knew? Gus, what you got? Anything?
Nothing that hasn't already been asked today.
Okay. Well, we'll move on to our little wonder kid. Come in, Sprocket, what you got?
Oh, I've done enough talking. I think the only thing that Sprocket felt that wasn't portrayed in game is that when he went through the barrier and he didn't have the tingly ready wreck man glow, that was probably quite a sad moment for him.
Yeah, I bet.
Like, the fact that he didn't feel anything.
Well, you did. You felt the pinpoints of pain.
Yeah,
first time.
yeah, but once the enchantment was on, and I just walked through,
And there was nothing.
there was nothing. But,
Well,
yeah,
she did say
I'll
that
stress.
the sprites would ignore you as if you weren't there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that must have been quite difficult. For him.
But up stress. Woo!
Yay! So, that kind of brings us... Oh, no. One more. Terry, you got any questions? Apparently not. No. Who knew?
We'll have to try harder.
Normally she's so loquacious.
Yeah.
So, thank you all for playing this game. It was really good fun tonight. I know some got more screen time than others, but that's the way it goes, I'm afraid. You will, obviously, the spotlight will swing onto Dan some more, because I love his little face when he's caught in the headlights. That one, that's the one. Thank you all very much for playing. Thank you all very much for watching. We will, of course, be back here on Sunday for episode 22 of The Investigators, where things are hotting up a lot. And possible dragons will appear. Who knows? So, yes, we were back here on Sunday for that with our lovely DM Martin. We will obviously be back here again next Tuesday for the next episode of Will They Get a Full Night's Sleep in the Forest of the Elves? Who knows? Thank you again for watching. We see you soon.